Welcome to our Sunday morning Vinyasa class. We will need a blanket or a cushion to either sit on or utilize like cushioning for our knees or anything like that. I like to use the blanket, but a cushion is really useful as well. And then a set of blocks. We will be using the blocks today at some point. So let's start in a comfortable seat. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the spine, perhaps even close the eyes, and just give yourself a moment to settle. Now, it kind of depends on the morning you've had already. Perhaps you just woke up or you've been up for a few hours already, working, doing things, rushing around the house. So give yourself a couple of breaths to come into your practice. And in this space, we can start with as clear of a mind as possible and as open of a heart as possible. As always, the gentle reminder to listen to your body as we move along, to modify, to change, or to omit any posture your body does not want to participate in. Allow yourself another deep breath in and a slow breath out. And with the next inhale, bringing the palms together at the center of the heart, we'll open the sacred space of our practice with the sound of Om. Inhale. And exhaling, slowly release the hands, blink the eyes open. Let's start with a deep inhale. Reach the arms out to the sides, point through the fingertips, lengthen up through the rib cage, and see if you can ground down through your knees. So try not to let your knees pop up towards your chest, but instead pull them down, almost like you're reaching the arms out and you're reaching the knees down. Lift the rib cage, draw the lower belly in, and then roll those shoulders back and down. We're going to move here into some little circles. So start by moving the hands forward, up, back, and around, and then back to center. So we'll just do that maybe 3 or 4 times. A little bit of a bigger circle. And then with that last one, we'll take it the other way. So we're just warming up the shoulders here, preparing for our practice. Don't have a lot planned for the shoulders, but we are going to do a little dolphin. So that's going to take a little bit of effort. And then stopping in the middle. Good. And then reach, 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 reach. One more time. This is a nice way for us to build muscle, strength, body awareness, and flexibility even in the shoulders without having to lift like anything heavy. Just the weight of our arms is heavy enough. Now let's turn the palms up and hold again here for a couple of breaths. So it's a sense of being calm as the arms are extended, the reaching of the fingertips. Good. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same circles with the palms facing up, just smaller. So small little circles. And start to notice how the shoulders articulate, just 3 or 4. Stop somewhere in the middle, and then let's go the other way. Notice how the shoulders articulate, how they move. We're not trying to shrug. We're just trying to reach. Good, good. There's Ruthie. And then extend, extend, extend. And then exhale, turn the palms down once more and release them down. Shake it out a little bit. Okay, so if that felt like a lot and you kind of just need a little bit of a hug, a squeeze through your arms, feel free to do so. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and reach the right arm towards the mat and take the left hand to the thigh. Create a little bit of a side twist. So the right hand that's down on the mat, your weight is on that arm, but not all of your weight. So keep your weight somewhat distributed into that left side body. And then from here, let's extend that left arm up like a nice yawn through the rib cage, through the fingertips, really lengthening. One more breath. And then exhale, let's slowly release, coming back through to center. Good, shake out the shoulders. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Reach to that left arm, right hand on the thigh. start to create the rotation. So really open your rib cage. We do this in the pose Parsvottanasana. When we come into Parsvottanasana in our Ashtanga practice, this is the rotation we're looking for. And then the right arm can extend up and over, again, like a nice full body stretch. So you're not trying to go over the body in a rounded position, just extending. So it's a good idea to keep your supporting arms straight. And then we can gaze out towards the armpit, reach the opposite knee, the right knee down towards the mat, elongate the side body, and then inhale, slowly come back through to center. Good. We're going to take the right arm up and bend the arm behind us. So you're kind of touching your right shoulder. Then your left arm is going to come around, and if it's possible, you're going to grab your fingertips. Now, if the fingertips is not happening, take your left hand to your elbow and help move it back. So again, we're just warming up the shoulders here because I got a lot of fun stuff going for the shoulders. I want to make sure they're prepared. So you can either pull the elbow back or you can reach around, find your fingertips, and then pull on your fingertips. Sometimes you can get a good grip with your fingertips. Sometimes just the tips of the fingers, whatever is fine. A strap will also work here, but we're not going to be here long, so I don't want to add any more props to our practice. One more breath. Exhale, you can release, take the arm down, extend both arms, reach, and bring them down. Before we do the other side, inhale, arms up. Notice how the right side feels versus the left. Exhale, hands to prayer. Good. And then we'll take the other side, left arm up. So again, easiest to do this is just to bring the hand to the elbow and pull back. So you want to reach down with your left fingertips. If that's easy, or if you're able to, you can always bring that right arm around you, kind of wiggle it through, get a hold of those fingertips if it's at all available. This side's a little harder for me. There we go. And then we hold and breathe. Good. So the goal here is to just get that nice stretch into the tricep muscle, a little bit of a different stretch into the shoulder. Beautiful. One more breath. Do what you can. Don't overdo. Try not to lean in. Keep your chest lifted. Very nice. Good adjustments. And then exhale. Let's release. Take that arm up. Other arm up. Extend and exhale. Reach them down. One more time. Inhale. Both arms up. And exhale. Both arms down. All right. Let's switch the direction of our feet so the other foot is in front. And now we're going to go for a nice easy twist with a little bit of a forward fold. So we'll take a gentle twist just to the right, one fingertips in front, one fingertips in back, and just rotate your spine. So normally when we go into a twist, we use the leg as leverage to pull. We're going into a very gentle movement here. So we're just rotating easily. And I want you to think about your shoulders. How can you bring that right shoulder back and that left shoulder forward more? How can that activate? Not without the use of your arms, but with the use of your torso. This is going to wake up different parts of the body. And then from here, we're going to lean over that right leg. And you can bring your hands in front and just take a moment to kind of lean over the right leg. And it's okay to round the back. Think of cat pose. Cat pose, tuck in, ground, shoulders kind of down, away from the ears. Good, very nice. Another breath. Exhale. And then inhale, press up, lift and lengthen your spine, come back to center. Good job. Other side. Reaching the fingertips forward and the left fingertips back. Find your rotation. Remember, this is activating through the shoulders and chest, not so much using the arms as leverage. So try to drop your left shoulder back, try to rotate your spine. Let it come from the center of your body, so from your waist, from your lower abdomen, from your rib cage, as you start to create the twist. And then once you're in your maximum position for your twist, try to breathe steadily. The left knee likes to come up when you're in this pose, so try to let it come down towards the mat. One more breath. And then exhale, coming back to center. Walk the fingertips on either side of that left knee. Take a nice little drop here. And then easily rounding to the back. Move the shoulders away. You know, the elbows can come to the mat if that's available for you. They don't have to. You can just stay with your arms, forearms down. Try to really round through your back here. Feel the stretch to the upper right side. And then inhale, lift the head. Exhale, walk the hands in and come back to center. All right, so now we're going to make our way to a tabletop position. So just roll over onto your tabletop. You can move your cushion or your blanket out of the way for now. Once you find yourself in tabletop, let's bring the knees together and let's sit the hips all the way to the heels. So we'll start with a Balasana position here, a little bit of a mixture between a traditional and an extended. Walk the hands forward and let your forearms come to the mat. So from this position, I want you to think not about cat pose, but about cow pose. So you're opening your rib cage and chest. It's not going to feel very natural, like you want to just kind of surrender to it. But see if you can extend shoulders back, chest forward, and keep your rib cage and your thighs connected. Legs together as much as it's possible. Palms flat, and you look at your forearms, they're parallel to the floor. This is going to help us when we do these other vinyasas and these other movements where we have our dolphin pose. Now hold one more breath. So it's active Balasana, but different than what we're used to doing. Now inhale, come all the way up to tabletop. Maybe walk the knees back a little bit. Situate your hands underneath your shoulders. Find yourself in tabletop. We'll move from cat and cow. Inhale, starting with cow. Tailbone up, shoulders back, chin up, shoulders open, chest widen. Exhale, tuck in, tailbone, rib cage hugs in, chin to chest, shoulders separate, top of the feet press down. Again, inhale, cow. Deep breath in. Exhale, cat. Slow breath out. Last time, inhale. Really try to move through every articulation of the spine. And exhale. Coming to a flat back again, tucking the toes under, lifting the knees, exhale, press to downward facing dog. So notice in your downward facing dog how the tailbone extends up and back, the heels reach towards the earth, and we're moving the rib cage towards the thighs. This inverted V position, called downward facing, allows us to get a full body stretch. So you are feeling extended space between your fingertips and your shoulders and your hips. If your weight is forward and you're putting weight on your wrist, it's not going to feel as nice. So you're going to bend the knees, move that weight back, lift the tailbone, tuck under, and then press the heels down. Ideally, one day that's where you'll find yourself. Until then, it's going to be some just variation of somewhere in between those two places. And then exhale, go ahead, look forward, walk the feet forward. Let's take a hanging forward fold before we come into our dolphin position. So forward fold, same idea. Soften the knees a little bit if you need to, but try to get your hips over your ankles. So you're going to use your hands to help brace yourself so you don't fall forward. But you really want to bring your weight forward, even to the point where you think, oh, I've gone too far. Let that be the deciding point. Once you think, oh, I've gone too far, then hang out there for a moment. Then you can keep your hands down, or you can start to walk your hands towards your feet and see if you can balance. Head down, maybe hold on to opposite elbows as long as the butt doesn't go back towards the heels again. So notice you can just fall as easily back as forward. So if you go back, you'll fall back. If you go too much forward, you'll fall forward. So really try to find that happy medium where the hips, the knees, and the ankles are stacked. Ah, very nice. Good, good, good. And then we let the shoulders relax here. Maybe a little wiggle, side to side might feel nice. Or up and down. Keep the feet strong, toes down on the mat. Try and straighten the legs if it's at all available. And then exhale, hands down. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders back. Now is a good time to straighten your legs. You can also come to fingertips or you can come to the blocks. Hands down on the mat. Walk the feet back. Take a high plank. All right, so high plank position. Oftentimes, not our favorite, but it really helps to build strength. So as we find ourselves in a high plank position, we're building strength. Make sure that your fingers are active. So a lot of times people make the mistake of just dumping the weight into the wrist and then the wrists get tired. Activate your fingers, squeeze your knuckles. Good, almost there. Another breath, inhale, shoulders back. And then exhale, let's drop the knees down. And then let's take our Balasana, this time a little bit more of a rest. Hands can go back towards the feet and the head relax. Okay, so now we're going to try to move through that same idea, same kind of movements that we just did, but only on our forearms. So some parts will be easier, some parts will be harder. All right, inhale, let's come up. Hands down to tabletop position, separate the knees. Drop your elbows right where your wrists just were. So you want your shoulders and your elbows right on top of each other. We don't want to have the shoulders too far behind or the shoulders too far forward. They will move, but we start in this position. Palms flat, kind of glue yourself down to the mat with your palms. Tuck your toes under, inhale, lift your hips, and then just stay wherever you are in this position of Dolphin Pose. Now, if this feels like it's too wide a step, just walk your feet in a little bit. And if it feels like it's too short, walk them back a little bit. Now, the heels may or may not touch the mat. It's okay if they don't. Push into the mat. No head is resting on the mat. We're just pushing into the forearms, pressing into the palms, reaching the tailbone up and back, reaching the heels down. Notice it's the same pose as downward facing, only we're on our forearms. Good. Allow yourself another breath in. Exhale. Now we're going to go into the plank position. So move your weight forward, maybe walk your feet back. Find yourself in a plank position on your forearms. So shoulders separate. Core is nice and strong. Good. Very nice. Some people find this a little easier than plank on our hands. Personally, I find it a little harder. But, it depends. Just use your breath. Try to maintain. Stay calm within the effort. And then exhale, drop the knees. Walk yourself back. This time, open the knees wide. Take a nice extended child's pose. Forehead can come to the mat. The arms can reach forward, or you can relax the arms. If the shoulders need a little bit of a break. If you feel good in your shoulders, maybe come to your fingertips to activate a little bit more. And then imagine your chest dropping down towards the mat one day. Calm your breathing. One more breath. Exhale. Good. All right. So now that we put all those pieces together, we're going to come to standing. So inhale, roll up to tabletop. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, we look forward, walk the feet towards the center of the mat. Let your head relax, shoulders soften, roll the hips over the heels. Inhale, extend the arms forward, reach. Walk again so that you're closest to the top of your mat. Again, exhale, fold, let it go. And then inhale, let's roll all the way up to standing. Take your time. We're rolling ourselves up all the way to standing. Okay, we're upright. Let's take a nice deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, take a fold, hands down to the mat, head relaxes. Let yourself breathe. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend your knees and roll yourself up to standing again. Roll yourself up to standing again. Shoulders roll back, head's the last thing to lift. Good, let's do that 2 more times. In breath, out breath. In to lift halfway, look up. Out to bend the knees and roll up. Shoulders and head. Good. Last time. In, out, in, and out to roll up. Back to upright. Good job. So as we move through the sequencing, that's how I want you to breathe. Now let's go ahead and grab our blocks, place them on either sides of the feet because we're going to need them in a moment. All right, here we go. So starting back again from that inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Now you have the blocks. Bring the hands to the blocks. Head relaxes, roll the weight forward. Inhale to lift. Keep the hands on the blocks. Exhale, step the right foot back. A giant step. Really big. Much bigger than you think I mean. Much bigger than you think you even can. Really, really big step. Keeping the hands on the blocks will help so that you can bend into that left knee, your left thigh parallel to the floor. No butt sticking up in the air like this. Drop it down. Good. Now, from here, press the back heel away from you and activate the right leg. Try to make your hands supportive, but not like you're dumping all your weight. So you should be able to lift at least one hand at a time. You should be able to lift. Try lifting one hand at a time. Good. And not by like bringing all your weight to one side. Oh yeah, bringing all your weight to the other side, right? So yeah, allow yourself a sense of ease in the hand. That's really important because we want to activate the legs. Good job. All right, now we're going to move into a pyramid pose. So right leg or right hips are going to extend back and the left leg is going to straighten. It may not straighten for you. It may keep a little bend. No worries. Do the best you can. If the leg is straightened, lift the chest. Try to lengthen the spine. Lastly, if you have room or space to fold, then try to fold. So your legs are really wide apart. It's not like Trikonasana. It's really, really wide apart. Your right heel reaches down towards the earth, and as you fold, a little rounding in the back, that might feel pretty nice. Just let it do. And then inhale, let's lift up again if you fold it. Exhale, bend the left knee again. We're back into that lunge, pushing the right heel back. Beautiful. All right, let's drop that right knee. Release the right toe. Hands to the thigh. Come up and balance. All right, so we're going to make decisions here. How does the body feel when I'm lifted here? Are my hips moving back because it's too much? Can I bring that weight forward into the hips? Is that possible? Now, do I need my hands on my thigh? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I won't know until I release them. Once I release them, I do need those hands. Bring them back. Otherwise, keep them down. Still moving the weight forward and down. Lastly, if your arms are down, you may be able to bring them up overhead. And then this time we're going to bend the elbows like cactus arms, and we're going to open our arms wide to try to open the chest. So this is where we don't want to collapse. We want to extend. And then maybe look up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then exhale, take the hands down. Good. Extend the left leg, same as before. This time, point and flex through the left foot. So same as before in our pyramid, only now the back knee is down, so maybe a little easier. Then you decide where to keep the toe down or up, and if it's available, fold over left leg. So you are going to try to move into each of these poses with full awareness of where your own body's limitations are. And then inhale, lift the head, bend the left knee, tuck the back toe under, straighten that leg, situate yourself here. And then you're going to go ahead and try, and we're going to take this left leg back. So press your arms into the blocks, lift the left knee, hover, and then extend it back. We're in a high plank on the blocks. Good. So now we're going to chaturanga. You can drop your knees if you want to, but we're going to try to lower towards the mat. Good, just like that. There you go, hover. Inhale, upward facing. You got it. Shoulders roll back, chin up. Nice work, you guys. Exhale, downward facing. All right, that version of chaturanga, up dog, down dog, that we're doing now with the blocks, sometimes can feel a little bit awkward, but really they just help to extend the upper body. Let's do the other side. Look forward between the hands. Big step forward. So that foot's going to go all the way between the blocks. And you might need to even slide the left foot back a little bit, dropping the hips. And we're going to stay here for a little bit just to get situated on this side. Ideally, if it's possible, again, you're going to try to have little to no weight on your hands. You're going to try. I know it's hard because you're like, oh, I need the hands. But if you start to activate your legs more, then your hands aren't really that important. They're there for balance and for support, and you do have a little bit of weight on them. But it's not, you're not holding yourself up by your arms. You're holding yourself up by your legs, especially that right leg as the hip drops down. Remember, you don't want the hip sticking up, dropping down. Good. All right, stay a couple more breaths, shoulders roll back, extending through the spine. We're going to get ready to do our pyramid next. So remember, our legs are really far apart. So you're going to do the best you can to straighten that right leg. We're just going to straighten the right leg. Don't need to adjust the feet. Don't need to do anything else. Once the leg is back, sometimes what happens is we open the hip. So drop the left hip. Right hip moves back. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Make your blocks taller if you need them. And then exhale, if there's any room, try to fold. Little rounding in the back feels okay. Keep the left hip forward, right hip back. Find your fold or not, stay upright. All right, if you folded, inhale, extend halfway. Exhale there, and then bend your right knee. Back to our lunge. Notice how that left hip flexor feels. And then let's go ahead and drop the left knee down. Release the left toes. And remember, you want a big space between your right heel and your left knee. Now you're going to start to come up using your hands for support. Find your balance here. Decide, yeah, this is good. I can stay here. Notice what's happening in the shoulders. All the time, the shoulders like to kind of squeeze up, so just keep them down. If you feel like, oh, I'm going to try balancing, arms can come down, then give that a shot. Keep moving the weight forward and down, because a lot of time we get tired and we bring the weight back. So you want to keep moving that weight forward and down. And then from here, inhale, lift the arms, open the rib cage, open the chest, shoulders roll back, and maybe we look up to where the wall meets the ceiling, and we breathe. We find ourselves within the struggle of the asana, but with a calm heart and a calm mind. And then exhale, take the hands back down to the blocks, straighten that right leg, point and flex through the foot. So this is what we call the half split, what we're doing now. Similar, and it helps to make the pyramid pose. And then you're going to decide if you're going to point your toe or flex the foot, lift the chest, and then if there's room, try folding over the right leg. Again, folding will make everything more intense. So folding is always optional. If you folded, let your back round a little bit, but move the shoulders back, hollow out the knee. And then inhale, let's lift halfway. Exhale there, bend the right knee as the right foot plants down onto the mat. Tuck the left toe under, straighten the left leg back to where we started. Our goal here is to bring the right foot back. So we're going to bring that right leg up, hover it for a moment. I know it's a lot. Exhale, push the leg back, high plank. If you have it in you, chaturanga, try not to touch the floor. That's why we have the blocks. Little bit off the floor. Good. Inhale. Upward facing. Activate your legs. Shoulders back, chin up. Exhale. Downward facing. And let's breathe here. Let's treat this downward facing like a little bit of a rest pose. You can walk your feet in a little bit. Lengthening the spine, tucking in through the tailbone, shoulders separate. Easy breath, inhaling and exhaling with ease. Let all of that movement go. One more breath. Exhale completely. Now good. Inhale, let's look forward between the hands. Walk the feet forward. And now we're going to go into some balance poses. So let's just one block for now. Move one out of the way. Place the one block up high, like the highest position. The right hand's going to go on the block. Now notice that the right shoulder, right wrist, ankles, and hips are stacked, kind of like tabletop. Let's bring the left hand to the waist. And what we're gonna try to do here is bring the weight onto the left foot so that the right leg can come up. And we're going to balance here. With the left hand on the waist, it should hopefully keep you stable as you're looking down. Keep that pointing the right toe. Now, we're going to make this a little bit harder to challenge. Extend the left arm. So similar to our bird dog that we do on our knees. The right arm is forward, the left leg is planted, and the left arm is reaching, and the right leg is reaching. And then exhale, take it down. You can bring both hands, switch your hands. So now the block, left hand is on the block, right hand is on the waist. Bring your weight to your right foot, and the left leg comes up. So start with just the leg. Don't incorporate the arm until you feel your balance with your left leg. Keep reaching. Good. Once you feel stable there with the left leg, then maybe extend the right arm. See what happens. Keep extending, keep reaching. If you fall down, just touch a toe. Come right back up. No worries. No stress. Just extension. Just breath. And then exhale, let's take the right hand back to the waist and the left leg down. And let's take a hanging forward fold, head down. If you have the block nearby, you can use it like a place to rest your head. You're keeping your hands on the block or on the floor. So you can use the block as a way to kind of measure your distance away from the floor. And then inhale, head up. Move the block off to the side. And then slowly roll yourself back up to standing. Shoulder blades roll back. Lift your chest. Good. All right, we're going to move into some variations of Trikonasana. Let's take the right foot back. And we're going to start by pivoting the body so that we're pointing towards the right or the back of your mat, let's say. Reach the arms, extend strong legs. We're going to take the body over that right leg. Be mindful not to go forward. Then just drop the right hand to the shin or the thigh and the left arm up towards the sky. So your right hand is on your leg, but you're not dumping weight into it. You're actually just touching your shin or your thigh, but you're not really putting that much weight on your right hand. The left arm, that's the one that's really active, reaching, and then both legs are super strong. Now, as you exhale, pivot and take the left hand to the shin and slowly start to rotate. Bring your right hand to your waist and spiral your chest. So here's a good place to be. Left hand is on your shin, right hand is on your waist, you're twisting. If you feel like you have a little bit of more mobility in the shoulder, extend your right arm up. Not necessary. You can always keep the hand at the waist or even take it around so that you can twist into your shoulder. Good, beautiful. Nice job. And then exhale, slowly come back. Right hand on the leg, left arm comes up, back to Trikonasana. Inhale, roll up using strong legs. Pivot right toes, in, left toes, back to the front of the mat. Now we're going to reach over, extend over that left leg, not forward. Left hand's going to go wherever it's going to go, somewhere near the shin, ankle, thigh. Right arm is going to go up towards the sky, and we're going to try to look up. If it messes with your balance, just look down. So looking down is perfectly fine. Try not to dump your weight into that left arm. Reach, lengthen, reach and stretch. Imagine your right arm is being pulled up. Good. One more breath. Strong legs. Both legs are straight. Now exhale. Take the right hand somewhere on that left leg. Hand to the waist first. Rotate. So the rotation is more important than the extension of the arm. Once you rotate here, if you feel comfortable, then try straightening the arm up. Otherwise, the hand can go behind you, kind of towards your right kidney, and then you can rotate through the left shoulder, looking up. Again, your right hand is on your shin, but you're not dumping your weight in it, so you're not sinking. Lift, 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 spiral, spiral, spiral. Beautiful. And then exhale, slowly release. Your left arm can come back up if you want, and then bring it down. Both arms come up. back to where we started, and then exhale, right foot steps in, and we're back to the top of our mat. Good. Let's take a deep breath in, a slow breath out. One more time. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Now we'll do another balancing pose. We're going to do simple tree pose, but we're going to make it a little bit fun today. So we're going to bring our weight to the left leg, lift the right knee up into the chest, just like the one we do on the floor, laying on our backs when we bring the right knee in. And then take the ankle or the right foot and make a figure 4 with your right leg. So this foot might start to slip down. How it stays is you flex the foot and you press it against the thigh. Now that it's in position, bring your hands in prayer. So a little different than our traditional tree. Tuck in through the tailbone, lift the rib cage. Good. Keep that right foot flexed. Keep the right knee pushing back. It's hard, I know. Try again. Good. Beautiful. You can also use the chair, Roseanne, if you want to hold on to, or the wall. Right? And if you're feeling like you're going to fall out of balance, it's okay. You can sway a little bit. You can try to bring it back. Have fun with it, guys. It's just yoga. All right. Inhale. Let's take the arms up. And then exhale. Arms down, leg down, and release. Good job. All right. Let's try again on the other side. So I know that that foot is going to slip. So start bringing that leg into the chest. The foot is going to slip. No matter what you do, no matter how you try, you're going to lose your balance. Some days are very windy days where everything's kind of just pushing you out of your balance. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try. All right, so we're going to grab that ankle. We're going to take it up by the thigh, flex the foot. So high up towards the upper thigh, above the knee, ideally. How it stays, not by you holding it, but by you pushing that left knee back and then keeping the foot flexed. It'll press against the thigh will press against the foot, and then you can find yourself in a balance. Best you can. Try to straighten your right leg. Good. Try again. Keep trying. Try again. That's it. You fall out, you try again. You fall out 100 times, you try 101 times. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Almost there. All right. If it's available for you, maybe you release the arms. Inhale, the arms can come up. Remember, it's okay if you're all over the place, if you're dancing around. No worries. No worries. We try. And then exhale, arms down, leg down. Woo! Good job. Shake out those legs. We're going to make it back down to the mat. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. Slow exhale. Hold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing. Let's stay here 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. We treat this almost like a little bit of a respite, a little bit of a break, a little bit of a pattern interrupt. And 5. Exhale, drop both knees down. Either extended balasana with your knees wide or simple balasana with your knees together, your choice. Settle in. So now that the body feels nice and warm and open, we're going to go for this transition of dolphin to down dog. It's a difficult transition, but we're going to move mindfully and with courage so that we can see what we can do. So we're going to set up just like we would for dolphin. Knees underneath the hips, elbows down, shoulders and elbows stacked. Then we're going to press up into our dolphin pose. Walk the feet in a little bit. Situate yourself in dolphin. We've already done this one, so hopefully you can come back to it. Now, with the inhale, we're going to try to straighten the arms and come into an extended down dog. And then exhale, drop the elbows, come into dolphin. I know, it's tough. Let's try it again. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Good. Stay in your down and your dolphin and your elbows down, forearms down. Bring your weight to your left foot, lift your right leg up. Three-legged dolphin, even though dolphins don't have legs. And then exhale, drop the right foot, left leg up. Breathe. Exhale, drop the left foot, stay in your dolphin. One more time, push up into down dog. And then exhale, down to dolphin. And then drop the knees, take rest. Arms behind you, relax. So that's why I wanted to make sure those shoulders were nice and warm, because I knew we were coming hard for them, and I wanted to make sure that they needed a little bit of a precursor before we started. So that all of those movements that we put into the shoulders can be very, very beneficial, but you always have to always be mindful. Every time you try something new, or even every time you step on your mat. All right, let's slowly inhale, roll up to seated. And we're gonna come up to a seated position. So just come to a comfortable seat. Doesn't matter which way. I'm gonna face you guys. And we're gonna have one leg out, one leg in. Similar to Janu Sirsasana, but we're facing the center. We're in Janu Sirsasana, we face the extended leg. In this one, we're actually facing the center. So if you wanted to sit sideways on your mat like I am, that's fine too. Now your right foot's going to stay flexed, and we're going to slide our right hand towards the right ankle. Left hand can press against the thigh for a little rotation, and maybe you have a little bit more room. Reach closer to the foot, or maybe even use your yogi toe grip to grab your toe. And then we open the chest, and just like we did in the warm-up, maybe extend that left arm, maybe. And if it's possible, if you have a little bit more room, maybe bend into your right elbow. Try. Maybe the bend is slight. That's okay. And then inhale, come up. Good. Let's take it forward over your left foot. Reach the arms forward. Extend, extend, extend. Head down. Exhale there. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, walk the hands in. Good. Bend the right knee, bring it in, place it right in front of the left foot. So we're going into a Marichasana B position. Left arm in front or to the side, right arm in front. Reach that right arm forward. Use your left hand to kind of push you forward. When your shoulder clears your knee, take the right arm behind, bring it towards your right hip. If this bothers your shoulder, just keep it out to the side. No need to bind. If you have the bind, you're going to take your left arm, maybe grab your fingertips, lift your chest, bring your knee in, and then exhale, fold over your left leg. The bind is completely optional. The pose is perfectly done with the arms extended and the chest bringing forward. So no need to bind. It just might feel nice in your shoulders after everything we did, but it also might not feel very nice. All right, inhale, head up. Exhale, release your bind, bring your hands back in, and then take your right foot over your left leg, and let's twist. Over the right shoulder. You can use your forearm and your elbow to help kind of guide your chest through. And then your right arm, use like a second spine to really keep your spine nice and tall. And exhale, come back to center. Release the right leg. Release the left leg, both legs out, flex the feet before we do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take a fold forward. Hands down, head down, chest down, shoulders down, everything down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale there. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arms down. Good. Preparing for the other side. Right foot tucks in. Left leg is extended. We're facing the center of the right foot, not the left leg. Reach the left hand towards the left ankle, foot or toe. Right hand can press against the side and lift the rib cage and spiral. Keep your left leg active. And then lastly, right arm can extend up and over as you stretch the right side rib cage. If you feel like you have a little bit more room, maybe bend into your left elbow if that feels nice. Don't overdo. Just find yourself in a nice side body stretch. Good. And then inhale, slowly come up. Very nice. Take that left foot, plant it in front. Set your hips down, square them off. You want that left knee pointing straight up, not up to the side. Take your body inside that left leg, reach it forward. Again, maybe just the arms extend in the forward position. If you have the bind in your practice, take that left arm around, right arm around. We find our fingertips, lift the chest, and we fold over the right leg. But remember, the bind is not the goal of this posture. It's actually for the hips. The bind helps to relieve or to create a little bit more mobility in the shoulders, but you don't need to do it. It's not part of it. It's just an extension of it. And then inhale, head up. Exhale, release, come back up. Now we're going to take that left foot on the outside of the right knee. Resettle your hip down and take your twist. You can just simply hug the knee as you rotate. Or you can take the arm on the outside and create a little deeper bind or a deeper twist. So it just kind of depends on your flexibility, your mobility today. Move into that left shoulder. Spiral your chest. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release. Extend the left leg. Extend the right. And then one last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take them forward. Maybe just the hands come down. But if the hands do come down, lift your chest and try to fold yourself into like a little pancake. Extending forward and down. Maybe the forehead can rest. And then inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, walk the hands in, come back. Good. Hug the knees in, and we're going to lay all the way onto our backs. We'll do a supported back bend next, and we're going to do a supported bridge. Grab your block. You can either grab it at the low, middle, or high level. I recommend either low or middle, not the highs. It's going to feel like it's too much for this today, but you could try. Tuck your pelvis, lift your hips, slide the block underneath your sacrum. Once the block is in place, settle your shoulders, settle your feet. All the little movements for your head, anything that needs to be kind of lifted and readjusted, find it there. Your feet should stay parallel to each other as your knees as well. So you don't want your knees to splay out to the sides. Keep your legs active and your hips active. Good. From here, the arms can release down or they can come overhead. Now, if you've been in this pose for a couple of breaths and you feel like, oh, well, you know, there's more room, I should go a little higher, then feel free at that point to make the block the next level higher. So maybe that's the middle or maybe that's the tallest. And then again, you want to resettle yourself back down. Arms can be down or arms can be overhead. Elbows can be bent or elbows can be straight. The feet are parallel, the thighs are parallel, and the inner thighs are actively rolling in towards each other. Close your eyes and settle into your supported back bend. You want to relax your glutes. You want to relax your legs in the sense that we're not pushing into the floor with the leg, but we're still actively rolling the inner thighs in. Toes are down, heels are down. Come back into your deep awareness of breath. Let's do 2 more breaths here in our supported bridge. Last one. All right. So if you're at the highest or the middle level, you're going to lower your block to the lowest level. You might need to come to your toes to press the hips up. Lower the block to the lowest level and then slowly lower your sacrum down. Once your sacrum is down on the block, bring the knees up, settle your body so that your shoulders and head are in alignment, and then extend the legs up. So we're doing a Viparita Karani with the help of the block. It helps to elevate the hips. It makes it a little bit more of an inversion. And we're just going to rest here for a few breaths. If it feels like a lot of work in your abdomen, just bring your legs closer to your body. If it feels like you want to activate your abdomen, you can move your legs away from your body. So the positioning of your legs will give you some sort of activation or deactivation in your abdomen. For me, I find when the legs are perpendicular or straight up, the abdomen is slightly engaged but relaxed. So for me, I find like that's the great position to be in. Play around with the position of your legs so you can feel that for yourself. Also, too, if your knees are slightly bent, I think it helps. If they're a lot bent, you might feel like you're no longer in the pose. And if they're too actively straight, you might feel like you're really putting way too much effort. So again, play around with the different options and see what suits your body. Close your eyes, let your shoulders relax, let your head relax, let the muscles of your face relax, and just hold this gentle inversion. Breathing gently, easily, and lightly. One more deep breath here. Slow exhale. Next inhale, activate your legs. See if you can straighten your legs, point your toes, activate your feet and ankles. And then exhale, bend the knees, bring the feet towards the butt, and let the knees kind of float up in the air for a moment. Start to move through your toes, your ankles, your feet. And then continue the trajectory all the way down until your toes, balls of your feet, and your heels touch down. Once they touch down, tuck the tailbone, lift the hips, pull that block out of the way, and settle yourself all the way down. Good. Once you're down, take a moment for a couple of pelvic tilts. So tuck in and lift, tilt back as the rib cage opens. A couple of times. Your arms can be down by your side. And then we'll slowly make our way to center, hug the knees into the chest. You can keep the knees hugged into the chest. You could circle, give the lower back a little massage. You can widen the knees, take a happy baby, and then maybe rock that side to side. All kinds of options here for you to begin to wrap up your practice. Any variation of that is going to be good for you. And then we're going to go ahead, when we're done with all the sides, we're going to go ahead and bring the feet down, extend the leg, and now we'll take our Shavasana, arms out to the sides, palms facing up, relax your shoulders. Breathe easy. Take rest. Let go of having to control or focus the breath in any way. Just breathe however is natural for you here. If you find any tension in the muscles or anywhere in the body, make a conscious effort to soften. Let any tension, any tightness move away from the body. And slowly and gently, we can start to bring awareness back to our breathing, back to our bodies, back to the space that we find ourselves in. You can start to add gentle movement, wiggling the fingers and toes, hands and feet, wrists and ankles, arms and legs. Maybe even moving the head side to side, releasing the neck. And then when you're ready, you can roll onto your side, linger there for a breath or two. Kind of a fetal position, knees tucked in. And then again, when you're ready, inhaling to come all the way up to seated. Just allow yourself a moment in seated. Go a full circle with my practice. So from when we start to when we finish, there's a sense of accomplishment or of completion. So as you find yourself in a seated position, see if you can connect to that full circle. And then we'll bring our palms together at the center of the heart. Prepare for Om. Om. Namaste.
Stay up.
Go. If you'd like to stay, then we'll take about 4 minutes break, and then we'll just a couple minutes if you want to grab some coffee or some tea, and then we'll start our little sadhana talk. So thanks guys for joining. I appreciate you. Okay, well, welcome you guys. I feel like it's just always the three of us. I love it. I know, right? So today, this is the first time I've done this, and I wanted to incorporate this into our practice because I know that in the West, a lot of times we consider yoga, what we think of yoga is asana, which is what we practice, which is wonderful. But you too have been in other of my workshops, and you understand that this practice is much deeper than that. And the reason why it's important to understand that is because that's how we utilize this to help us heal and to help us navigate really difficult times in our lives, whether that be loss or grief or disappointment or just, life in general is filled with all kinds of things that get shot at us. And this practice has the ability to help us with that. So the thing I wanted to talk about today is called sadhana, and it's spelled Sadhana, sadhana. And what it means, it's a Sanskrit word that basically means our spiritual practice. Now, not necessarily does it have to be a spiritual practice, but it's accomplishing something, doing something, right? It's the sadhana. It's like we call it, I've completed my sadhana today. So you could say that our practice this morning was our sadhana. That was our completion. It can basically mean anything that has to do with self-awareness and self-growth. So if you're doing anything, it could be reading, it could be meditating, it could be chanting, it could be praying. A sadhana is a way for us to complete a practice that has to do with our greater being, our greater growth. Obviously, not just poses, as you both all know. So there's 2 Yoga Sutras. The Yoga Sutras is this book that was written, I don't even know how many hundreds, thousands of years, a long time ago. It's written by Patanjali, and there's two Yoga Sutras that have to do with sadhana that I want to talk about today. And one of them is Yoga Sutra 112, and in Sanskrit it's called Abhyasa Vairagyavyam Tanirodha. Okay, so we'll break that down. Abhyasa means steady or consistent practice. Steadiness, consistency, right? You guys both do that, right? And if you're watching the video, you guys also too do that, but it's consistently keeping this practice steady. And then the second part, vairagya, letting go, non-attachment, surrendering, right? So we have the consistent practice, but it's not that on the days that the practice is, we can't practice. Like, for example, Ruthie just texted me earlier, said, I'm so sorry, I can't make it, something came up. That doesn't mean she doesn't have a consistent practice within her, just that today we let go of the fact that she couldn't come in and she wasn't able to be part of it. She'll watch the video later, right? So both of these aspects are needed in order to find this peace of mind and this clarity that yoga seeks for us to accomplish. So examples, I love to give examples of sadhana or what this means. So 5 minutes of breathing in the morning, 5 and 7. Set your timer, set timer 5 minutes, inhale 5, exhale 7. That could be your sadhana. Journaling, having a gratitude list, that could be your sadhana. Repeating a mantra or an affirmation, so a chanting, Om Mani Padme Hum, set your timer, 5 minutes, sadhana. Even taking your coffee, even right now with our nice cup of coffee or tea, nice sip, as long as you're being mindful, right? You're not doing your coffee and doing the crossword puzzle, because that's a whole different thing, or having a conversation, hanging out with friends. But if you sit quietly, maybe on your front porch or your back porch or in your kitchen, wherever it is, and you sit quietly with your mug, this is a sadhana. You're allowing yourself to come into an internal focus. Walking outside can be very, very healing as well. And even setting an intention before bed. A lot of times we go to bed, we're super tired, like, oh, I just want to go to bed, lay down. But take a moment before you go to bed, set an intention for you, how you want your night to be, the kind of dreams you want to have, the rest you want to have, and how you want to wake up the next day. Those types of things go a long way. So, there's another Yoga Sutra that I wanted to share. This one is Tapa, this is Yoga Sutra 2.1. Tapa Svadaya Ishvara Pranidhani Kriya Yogaha. Okay, translation. Tapa means austerity. Or it also kind of means fire. So like when I say austerity, I mean like it's this fire that burns within us that we do things. So when we're doing difficult poses like Dolphin Pose today, that was feeding into our tapas. That was our tapas. That was our effort. That was our work, right? So that's what tapa usually translates to. Svadhyaya is self-study. So when we study ourselves, when we sit and we look inward, we're like, well, why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? Why do people treat me a certain way? When we start to reflect on why things are happening the way they are, this is svadhyaya. So this is what is in the Yoga Sutra. And then finally, or not finally, but Ishvara Pranidhana is a devotion to a higher power, so that we don't think it's all about just us. It removes selfishness when we think there's something greater than us, there's something bigger, and that can be part of our practice. And then finally, the Kriya Yoga, which is what constitutes our practice, our Kriya. So again, sadhana isn't always about just physical practice. It has to do with spiritual awakening and self-discipline, self-reflection, and again, that sense of devotion, the sense of surrender, that it's not just us. There's more, there's something bigger. So when we put these things together and we ask ourselves, so what's the point? Why should we practice sadhana? One, it helps to build resilience. So when we're having a difficult time, we have the practice of resilience because we know we have our steady sadhana that we practice. And it helps us to understand ourselves in smaller ways that may not be like logical or like overtly available for us. But when we hit those bumps on the road, it comes in handy. It creates routine, because we know routine is very important, especially if we're going through anything difficult. For me, routine, oh my gosh, I know every morning at 7 a.m., I'm going to get up, I'm going to do my practice, right? On the days that I can't, for whatever reason, it's okay, because again, we go back to the surrender, but I know that that's my routine. That's a steady way for me to practice. And then it helps us to control how we respond to the world. So we're not always reacting, right? Like we want to avoid constantly reaction. Something happens, we react. Something happens, we react. It's very animalistic. So when we practice sadhana, we are centered, we are in a place of self-awareness. And so when something happens, we can control how we respond with understanding and with our own intellect. It doesn't have to be an automatic response. So I have some suggestions for ways to dive deeper into this for yourselves. So if you wanted to maybe journal about how you can commit to a daily practice and what that would look like for you, where in your day you could maybe find a moment of stillness, that it could be just focused on your sadhana. And then how would it feel if you took your practice? Sometimes, I don't think this is true for you guys, but for certain Ashtangis, it can be very difficult because they treat their practice like a chore. like, oh, I have to get up and do my practice. So I don't think it applies to you guys today, but I wanted to note it because sometimes once you've been practicing for a long time, it does have that chore-like feeling. So you want to come back into like a place of love. You want to do this out of love because you know it feels good, because you know you're a better person afterwards, and because you know it's going to make you feel better in the end. So I'd like to open it up for you guys if you have any questions, but as a final thought, I want to kind of mention that this is a gift to yourself. This yoga practice is a gift to yourself. You know, you're as your mothers, right? Some of you are grandmothers, right? Like it's, or fathers if you're watching this. Um, you are always giving to everyone else. I know that's true for me. I'm a big giver. I'm like, here, take, 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 take. This is how I give to myself. And if you're giving something to yourself, then you know that you're able to give to others, and that continues that cycle. When you run dry, so does your giving. So make sure that you treat this as a gift to yourself. And also just to remember, and I remind you this all the time, that there is no such thing as perfect. There's no perfect practice. That's why it's called practice. We practice, we try. There is no perfect. There is no, oh, I've achieved a level of what, it doesn't exist. Sadhana, continue consistently over a long period of time doing your practice. And a long period of time doesn't mean weeks or months, it could mean lifetimes. So we continue to practice. And I'm one of those person that I believe that this this is not my first lifetime doing this. I think it's happened before. And I think I've brought it with me. And so, as we continue to work on our sadhana, we become better for ourselves and for the people around us. So sadhana, that's the word that we're working on today. So I'd like to open it up to you guys. I didn't want to go too long because I wanted to make sure that I honored your Sunday. But if you have any questions or any comments, you're welcome to unmute, let me know, and then.
So the Smithsonian, I get emails from them for classes, and next Saturday is a visual journaling creativity workshop that I was going to sign up for. It's like 3 or 4 hours long.
Nice.
And they have another one that's curating a life, art as memoir, as a memory in that. Yeah. And that's like, I think 3 weeks long or something. So I was looking at that one too. Not that I'm an artist.
No, but yeah, that's okay. I mean, art is, it could be really anything. It's on the eye of the beholder. So I think art therapy is very, very useful. I think that's both of those things sound wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and there you go. That's a way to build your sadhana, right? Because then the tools that you learn from those, you can incorporate into your daily life and then let that be a part of it. Yeah. I think the hardest part sometimes is that, and I'm like that too. Like I take a lot of courses and I do a lot of learning. I'm a forever student, forever student.
So am I.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful way to carry on in life because you're always learning. And then for me as a teacher, then I feel like, oh wow, I just learned this. I got to share with my students. So it's a way for me to continue that cycle. But at the same time, if you don't put what you're learning into practice, that's where we fall short. Mm-hmm. I always keep awareness of that. Like I got to make sure that what I'm learning, if I'm learning such a thing, let me put it into practice. Let me see how that can benefit my day or my teaching or my life or whatever it might be.
Right.
Those things.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about them. They sound real cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Roseanne. Kathy, you've been having technical issues. I'm sorry. That's your sadhana today. Kathy figuring out her technical issues. Is it because, hold on, let me see. What if I do this? Does that help?
Thank you very much. I'm so technically challenged with unmuting. Wow, so many things that comes to mind. Yes, the art journaling or the reflection through art, even if it's just doodling. I've taken such classes, and I know someone who is a therapist using art, like a
art therapist.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So yes, I think that's wonderful that you're doing that. Um, yeah, the empathy. We tend to, we are people who are empaths. We are our heart a lot of times leads us, and sometimes we can give away all the cookies on our plate and there's none left for us. So I can relate to what you're saying, is that we prioritize our yoga practice as what we do for us to help keep us stable. So thank you.
I love that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for rephrasing it and kind of putting it into your own words, because that really is, that is the gift to ourselves. And I love how you said we give all the cookies on our plate. I mean, that's life, like it's so funny. I made dinner the other day, last night, and I had all this stuff made and I'm serving the plates. And when I went to go serve my plate, there was all very little left. And I thought, but I'll have 3 big men.
You have an extra young male,
and one that's extra hungry.
Oh my! Wow. Okay. Sure. Right.
Where I don't compromise is this. So when I don't compromise is, I know, even my son knows, like if he misses the bus in the morning, go talk to your father, figure it out. I'm on my mat, I'm doing my sadhana. That's not where I compromise, So that's a line, that's a border that you have to draw with family members, with loved ones, with cats.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, well, thank you guys. Oh, I think we lost Kathy. Oh my God.
Oh no.
She's having such a hard time. But I want to give you back your Sunday. Thank you for being part of this. I hope that we can turn it into a weekly thing where we just chat for 10, 15 minutes after class. Oh, she's back. Yay, Kathy. I'm so sorry. We were just saying bye. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys. Our Monday morning class is now Tuesday. You know this.
Okay. Yeah, I signed up for Tuesday.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I saw that. So I will see you either Monday night or Tuesday morning.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.